Stanley!
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing? Flashing red lights, driving at night, windowless ride, feeling alive. Nothing in sight, forever in flight. Follow those lines, we'll make it this time. Blurry street lights, work as a guide to memories that we'll make it tonight. Oh yeah, we'll make it tonight. Yeah. I'll do anything that I feel like I wanna do. I'm living life like I got nothing left to prove. No end in sight, just go.
OMG, we are finally back in the Outrage Control Zone area. Sorry for the little stuffy nose today, so if I sound a little off, it's because of that. It is Kayla, Writer Chaos, Queen of the South, the Carolina Boss Lady. I have all sorts of names, and we're back, and we got a full house. So we're going around and introduce everyone. We're going to save one person for last that's just below me, and there will be a reason for it. Anyway, my partners in crime at the top of here. We got Dango. Dango in the house. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay, Kayla. It's been a long time. I think it's been like 3 months almost since we've done a stream or even been live on even been live on my own show. So it's been a long couple months. So honestly, very excited. And I got a clip.
We gave Dango a chance, but things got worse. Says he looks like a star, but wears a $2 shirt.
Oh, man. All right. Also, we got a Redeemer in the house, Mr. Every Single Night over on COD, our great friend, but the Roboter. He's got all sorts of names as well. Justin, how are you doing tonight, bud?
Oh, I'm not feeling top notch, but I'm damn sure happy as hell to be back over here on Outrage Zone. You know why? Because it's game over.
Yeet. Hello, fam. Marcus, bud. Thank you for tuning in with us. Hope you're doing well tonight.
Yeet.
Below Justin, we got, he is Paul Bear's son. May him rest in peace. But it's DJ's in the house. DJ, how are you doing tonight?
I'm cold. I don't know about y'all, but I'm cold. I'm actually glad to be back on here and hopefully have some fun.
Oh yeah,
well,
definitely.
That's my plan. That is my plan. And we got Jordan from World Elite also in the house. What's up, Jordan? Thank you for tuning in. And Poppy, Circle Debate, give Denaglis a chance. Laugh out loud. His name's supposed to. Yes. And what's up, Streets? All right. And we also, he's with us over on COD. He's everywhere on COD as well, but he's always on the Outrage Zone. He officially became an honorary member of us. You may know him as Chef, but he's got the nickname as Chef. So Brian Cook, Chef. How are you doing tonight?
And we got this to person him to welcome him back to the show.
Hey, that's great. But who are the chefs?
Rookie mistake.
We thought it fit perfectly.
It did. All right. I saved the best for last. We've been trying ever since this started a year ago to get our good friend on, but things happened. We couldn't. But everyone, put your hands together. We finally did it. Dylan from World Elite is finally in the Outrage Zone. Dylan, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been a crazy year last year. I know y'all been trying to get me on for quite some time, but the moving process and whatnot finally got in here. And yeah, I'm going live a lot more often now. So y'all can rest assured have me on as many times as y'all want on Sundays when y'all go on, and I'll be glad to join. But I'm doing fantastic. How y'all doing?
Hit him with that Daniel Bryan. Yes.
I know, right? Other than dealing with the little stuffy nose, I mean, it's going to be a good night. All the way from Saudi, Illinois. All right. Tonight, we're going to touch some wrestling events, and then we're going to edge into a little bit of football. Just say, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Who's going to win the national championship? Spice it up a little bit. But we got to end. Also, we have a new thing. called Rant Time. You can rant about anything you want in the sports industry. A little something that we wanted to edge on tonight, or something that's going to be new to the Outrage Control. So that was actually Dango's idea. So we'll see how that goes, because we know how we can do some rants. So we're going to jump to thoughts on Raw on Netflix debut. Is there stuff that they need to improve? So we're going to start with Dylan. Dylan, what was your thoughts on Monday Night Raw, and what do you think they could improve?
So my thoughts, it was really good. I mean, it was a really good show. You know, it kind of gave, and I said this on World Elite last week. Said it even on the new Game Breaker podcast that we came out with last week, and I said the same thing on both shows. You know, it kind of gave me like a PLE type hype level towards it. You know, not so much like WrestleMania. You know, WrestleMania is this whole different animal for me, but it's like it gave off like that PLE vibe to me because of the hype level. They hyped up so much. The card was fantastic, but the main problem that I had, it wasn't so much with the show, it was with the fans. And the fans, they expect just for WWE to post, you know, everything on the same show and not give the other shows other chance, you know, to do anything. They wanted Penta, they wanted, you know, Becky to come back, they wanted the Intercontinental title for the women's to be on that show. It's like they wanted everything into a 3-hour show, and for one, they can't necessarily do that. So it's not so much of what they need to improve as a wrestling company. It's the fans itself that need to improve themselves on not setting the bar too high every single week. But for one, they had a great show. There's nothing that I really found that was wrong with it. It's just people, you know, for one, WWE gives them a great show and they expect way too much to happen in so little bit of time. There's already a great show planned for tomorrow, you know, because for one, we're getting Penta tomorrow against Chad Gable. We already know this. We're getting the Intercontinental title for the women's, and we're getting a stacked show. So they don't need to complain every single week that they're not getting the things that they want because they already got some stuff good. They got, you know, it was a little bit of nostalgia here and there. They had The Undertaker. They had The Rock. They had Hulk Hogan. I'm not going to bring that up, but they had, you know, they had so much good go on during this show, so they don't need to complain that much. As far as the company, they did well. I don't think they need to improve that much as far as that goes. It was just stuff I don't think that was really needed during the show. If the rumors of them cutting certain stuff to bring this other stuff out, I don't think that was needed. But as far as the company goes, I don't think they really did much wrong with it. You know, they lived up to the hype. It's just the fans don't need to expect so much to happen in so little time. So I thought it was great. And yeah, I mean, I can't wait for tomorrow.
Hi, Jacob. What's your thoughts on the Netflix debut?
Who? Me?
Yes, you.
Okay, yeah. So I thought it was okay. I thought it was an okay Raw. I thought it was a very good. The only parts I didn't like was the stuff that, like, internationally they would show these interviews during commercials and then like not acknowledge it. Like during the commercials, they explained why Xavier Woods and Ray were not having their match, like the tag match. They actually said, "Oh, LA doesn't deserve this crowd." Like one of my highlights of the night was the pop Macaulay Culkin got. Like I thought that was fantastic. I thought they did a really good job. I mean, getting used to all those ads in the ring. I mean, if you watch UFC or boxing, you knew this was going to happen. You knew this was going to happen eventually, that they were going to sell the ring. I know how much Vince back in the day used to call it like sacred, that no one should ever touch the ring and like put ads on it. But I guess you got to get to the point where you got to start making money off of it and trying to improve of what you see. So I'm very excited for tomorrow night, especially for the debut of Penta.
All right, Redeemer. Looks like your friend found us. Benjamin's in the house. How are you doing tonight, Benjamin? Hope you're doing well.
Good, Ben.
So, Justin, how do you feel about the what do I want to say? SmackDown, NXT. Oh my gosh. Netflix debut of Monday Night Raw. Do you think they need to improve or anything, or do you just agree with what Dylan and Dango says so far? There's nothing they need to improve, but the little small things they could have worked on.
I mean, for like the most part, I agree with Dango and Dylan. Like, I look at it and I just go, okay, as a if you look at this in a perspective as a casual, you know, you're getting the legends, you're getting all these other matches, and that's kind of what this show was basically for. It was just one big giant ad to be like, hey, any new faces want to come watch the show? Here's the show for you. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But partially my one big issues here were like the big stories really not feeling like they didn't really focus on them that much. Like the Roman stuff to me really disappointed me because now it just feels like you only have one direction left to go with Solo and with him losing when you could have had Solo end up beating him, which would have made more sense, honestly. Could have stretched it out a little bit more. The Drew losing stuff doesn't help fix the whole situation of what he said during Saturday night's main event, where he's like 1 down, 4 to go. Like basically it's telling us he's targeting the entire Survivor Series War Games team, yet here he is losing to Jey Uso, which don't make no sense whatsoever. Like he beats Sammy, but he can't beat Jey Uso. Like I didn't understand that to an extent. And the Rock and Cody stuff, like that to me, I get it, you know, it's The Rock. He's showing up on the show and everybody's excited because it's the big name showing up on the show. But here he is dapping up Cody and acting like, you know, we're going to just completely forget that we just missed what happened leading all the way up to 40, which to me just came off so dumb as, you know, a viewer looking at this and going, you know, you could have basically not only, I get it, you wanted to bring the casuals in by giving them all the legends and everything else, but in the process, if you're bringing in the new faces, you have to tell them what stories you're telling the entire time. You know, if they're brand new and they're coming in, this is the stories that you missed, you know, before you got here. And now all of a sudden you're here and you're just like, oh, Cody and Rock are besties. And I don't know. There was a lot of discontinuation to like some really important stuff. But overall, it was kind of like a 50-50 kind of thing. Like I really, for me, I really enjoyed it as the casual side of me. Like if I'm sitting here watching wrestling and I'm watching the casual side of me is in this, I'm into the show. But the part of me that's like the hardcore fan is sitting there going, you know, there's some stories you're really missing out here. And that was kind of my issue, my main issues with the entire thing. But overall, I really did enjoy the show. I think they really nailed it. And again, I agree with Dylan with the whole thing of everybody getting all, you know, up in their feelings about, you know, them taking so much stuff off the show. Again, you can't flood this show because then what are you going to get in the coming weeks after that? It just made sense in the long run, you know, like it is weird what they did with Penta, how they took him out of the tag match. Now they're having him in a singles match. It's a little bizarre in its own right, but overall, you know what? We're getting Penta and I'm not disappointed in the long run. You know, again, you want to save a lot of stuff for the coming episodes on Netflix. So I'm completely fine with it. So good debut.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, DJ, what's your thoughts on the NXT? Oh my gosh, Netflix debut.
Locked in on NXT here.
Apparently.
Okay, with me being a former wrestler, it made the new show and everything on Netflix, it all worked out. But the thing is, they took away from a lot of stuff, like the deal with The Rock and all that kind of stuff. They just kind of spit on everything they did beforehand. Why sit there and push big stuff away? Why push storylines completely away from the truth of what's really going to, you know, what's going to hell on? And it makes me mad. And another thing that really made me mad was the choice of why in the hell they changed the referees to just 2 stripes down the side. They're referees. They're supposed to be in charge. All the colors is shown so they know, okay, this referee's in charge and he's going to kick my ass or throw the match out if I do something wrong. The referee kind of looks like they're going to a damn job interview. Legit. Why you have a job? Why? But the thing is, I made this comment the other night whenever I was actually watching it, but they changed it on SmackDown too, so everybody changed. They completely changed the whole outlook on a referee, and it doesn't make any sense. But I mean, the whole show and everything like that was really, really good, but they changed so much stuff that they had planned, and they should have just left it alone, went ahead and do what they had to do, and saved it for the next coming show. But the thing is that I agree on everything. It can be a 45-minute show, or it can be a 3-hour and 50-minute show. They have that long. They can change the time limits. Something they don't like, they can automatically change it. But then again, I'm sitting there saying that now, but they could have done that, 10 years ago, where they can go over like 5-10 minutes, but they would get it changed right then and there. They have the time limit now where something ain't going wrong. Okay, we're going to change this. Let's go this way. But anyway, I gave the show literally like maybe a 6.5 or 7 out of 10.
That's fair.
Yeah, very fair. All right, Chef. What is your thoughts on the Netflix debut? There we go.
Well, how can I possibly, follow up with every single point that's been on target, but especially having to follow a former wrestler and son of a legend. Thanks a lot. But it was a great show. But at the same time, yeah, they can't flood. If they're gonna have 3 hours, they can't flood it with so much stuff. You don't want it to, of course, you don't want it to drag like large parts of SmackDown did last week. Last Friday.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's for sure.
But like it's been said already, you don't want to cram all that. You don't want to cram so much stuff in that you basically overstuff the show to where fans get tired, and you don't leave any room. You don't leave any room for the shows that you need to produce the weeks after that.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was to happen, then what situation is you're going to face during pay-per-view times? Because it's going to be a mess.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you don't want to cram in too much. You don't want to drag out either. And I do agree on some of the storylines not either they're either being discontinued or they're being destructed. I mean, we all saw what went on with Rock and Cody last year. We all seen that. And Rock's appearance we don't even need to get deeper into what has already been said. It's the most disliked moment in WWE history on YouTube, yada yada yada. But now all of a sudden they're besties. That makes no earthly sense at all. Yeah, I do agree on the referees not having the stripes on the referees. It doesn't make any sense either. I mean, you're never going to see boxing having referees get rid of the blue shirts now, do you, with the ties? That's never going to happen. What's next? Red Shoes not wearing the striped shirt over in New Japan, instead of wearing all red with the no, that's not going to. They would never do that. So why do you have referees change basically their uniform basically?
Right.
But outside of all those graphs, and I don't want to get on the tangent. I think it was a great debut, and hopefully tomorrow night will help build on the momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, all of you did some, great thoughts and stuff on it. I believe that it was a good debut for NXT. Oh my God, there's the NXT again. On the Netflix, we're just gonna say on Netflix. I believe it was a good, debut. Like we said, like Dylan and everyone said, do not overpower it. Do not You don't want to like wear people out the first debut of Monday Night Raw, because look how long we had it for what, a couple months with just 2 hours, which felt weird. Now you want to now you're bringing back 3 hours. You don't want to overwhelm anybody. I agree with DJ on the whole referee shirts. The referees are supposed to be put out there. I understand if you want to change your shirts up, but don't make them match everybody else, because they're not apart from everyone now. So that I don't understand why they did change that as well. And what Dango said as far as the interviews, like International didn't have commercials, they got interviews. And what really made me mad, they had one of the best cross promos on there for Monday Night Raw that we never saw. He basically set the Miz up, basically tricked him in fighting the Wyatts again. That was hilarious. If you hadn't seen it, it is on my Twitter page at Ryder Chaos if you want to check it out. He set him up. Kayla, do you love NXT? Do you want to join the Redeemer on Tuesday night? Watch. Jeez, apparently, keep saying NXT tonight. But you know, it was a good show. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. So hopefully it was, you know, we're getting a street fight between Priest and Balor. We're getting the first ever Intercontinental Women's Champion between Laya Valkyria and Dakota Kai. You know, we're getting a debut of Penta. There's so many. Hopefully Penta will beat the shit out of Chad Gable. Someone needs to knock him down a few notches. So with that being true, before we jump over to little last minute predictions, Chef brought it up, so let's jump to it. What are your thoughts, Chef? We'll start with you since you brought it up. What is your thoughts after you sitting with me and Justin last week on the debut of the 3-hour SmackDown? What was your thoughts on it? And what do you think they can do to improve it? Because it went slow. We agree. It went slow. I don't even know if there was a time that we actually watched the whole show. We were just talking.
What's it? Well, it's very simple. First of all, SmackDown needs more people. I mean, SmackDown needs more people for one damn thing. Their lack of depth shows badly last night. B, just make both top brands unified again. The entire brand split is dead. I mean, it's way past its expiration date. And I mean, it was extremely boring. It was an extremely boring show for a lot of that time on Friday. And I can't remember the last time, even some of the worst of times, I can't remember the last time that I could truly say that about SmackDown. But it just really brought me back to like the mid 2010s, where at times, and this was during the old man stinks reign, where Raw was treated as the super show, you know, the Raw super show. But during those times, he would treat SmackDown like the blue-haired stepchild. And you cannot do that to your top products, because for a long time, for stretches of 20, for the better stretches in those 20 years, 1999 to 2019, if you really look at it objectively, SmackDown had been the better show of the two. Really, when you think about it, even the more people, even the more of us, the fans, watch Raw every week, because that's the A show, that's the establishment. I mean, I was really disappointed in SmackDown. I wanted to be, part of me wanted to be generous and give it a little bit fairer score, especially with the Tiffy time. But not even she could save that train wreck of a show.
No.
And I guarantee you, I gave it a 2. If my nose was stuffy and stuff like that, if I was sick, I guarantee I probably would have been so pissed off I would have gave it a 1.
I love it. I love it. All right, DJ, what is your thoughts on the 3 hours SmackDown now?
Personally, I don't have a problem with the 3 hours. Like I literally don't. SmackDown was my favorite show, no matter what. I've always loved SmackDown. No matter
Me too.
no matter how it went, SmackDown was always good, no matter how it was. But the thing is, they bring. I agree with Chef. Like, I don't understand why in the world they want to continue with the brand split. That doesn't make any damn sense. Like, why can a world champion be on Raw and on SmackDown and even come to NXT sometimes? What the hell is the damn problem? Like, why can't they? If everybody is a WWE superstar, why can't they be a WWE superstar and go to all shows?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't, that don't make sense to me. But I mean, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I liked it, if I didn't like it.
Right.
I mean, I'm kind of like I sat and watched it and enjoyed it, but I don't know what answer to give, because I mean, yeah, it was okay, but yeah, there were some fucking problems that they didn't need. They didn't need that fucking problem with NXT, or not NXT, with see, I'm doing it now, Caleb.
You're welcome. At least I'm not the only one now.
Yeah, but with Raw, well, I keep wanting to say NXT.
Repeat after me. Netflix.
Watch the bouncing ball. Netflix.
Netflix.
But no, I forgot where I was at now. Wrestler brain.
To me,
no. With SmackDown, with them
Samoan drops.
too many times.
From Big Jim.
Well, yeah, and his daddy actually slipped and sat on my face one time. Anyway, anyway, before I lose what I'm thinking about, with SmackDown, they were so worried about Raw, so they were. It was kind of like long and drawn out. They didn't know what to do. They put everything into Netflix, the new Raw and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I don't know. Score wise, I liked it being 3 hours because more wrestling is more wrestling. Well, I love wrestling and I love to watch wrestling, but when it comes to stupid shit that they're fucking doing, it just like
topsy-turvy.
I'll give it a 4.
There you go.
I'll give it a 4 for the show, and for the 3 hours, I'll give it 100 out of 10.
Okay.
It's more wrestling.
There you go. Ivan says we can go back in the days when Paul Heyman had SmackDown the #1 show back in the day. So what they need to work, give more time to the talent that has never had TV time, new feuds. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
They definitely need fresh trees in there.
Hello, Mama Chaos. How are you doing? Mama Larissa, whatever you call her. She got all sorts of names ever since she's been on our shows. And then Benjamin says, in my opinion, I don't know how anyone else feels, but I feel all the brands have gotten much better since McMahon was pushed out and Trips took over, but that's just me.
Agreed.
No, you're right, Benjamin.
You're good. 100%. All right, Redeemer. You were the one chilling with me and Chef on the SmackDown watch along. How do you feel about this 3 hour SmackDown? And
how do I even start this? Let's think. So The first episode, when we watched it for the first time, it went 3 hours. We didn't mind the show that much. It was pretty fair. Like, it wasn't as bad. But this one just recently, it came off as you can tell it's a roster that's only built for 2 hours. That was it. Like, there was so many recycled segments and so many like people getting multiple segments in and out, in and out. Like, yeah, they were putting new faces on there. Like Los Garzas is getting their own thing, and A-Town Down Under's there, and the Machine Guns are there, and Shinsuke and LA Knight is doing their thing. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. But like, you can clearly feel the show how it is. Like, it is only built to basically go 2 hours. They need to, at this point, literally, how many times have I said multiple times, just end the fucking brand split? I don't know why they try to stick with this goddamn thing of sticking with this brand split when they never do. Just let it go. Put it back as one roster. Float your damn roster across both shows. You build more stories. You can get more days worth of story in here. The roster is now loaded to the extent where you're starting to get new matches on television. Like, either that, or how many times have I also said, I feel like I've said this one a lot of times too, just make your champions exclusive. That's it.
Yeah,
the rest of the roster floats. Just keep your championships on that one show while the rest of the roster can go wherever. So that way, fresh matches, you can tell the stories. Like, even if you have to only tell it on Monday Night Raw, you know, like say if you have your world championship feud, you know, your only time you're doing it is putting it on Monday Night Raw. But again, at least the roster can do some stuff where like the champion can actually have some matches on television. The challenger can face different people here and there, something like that. But literally think about it. We just been told not too long ago, before all the Netflix stuff and before SmackDown moving to 3 hours, we have a transfer window. They haven't even used this transfer window yet. We've moved 2 people so far. Where is the transfer window coming into effect? Use the damn thing. Come on. Like, call some NXT people up. Move some people from Raw over to SmackDown. Vice versa. Something. Just...
Right.
You got to refresh the roster. You got to build it to make it feel like it's a roster built for 3 hours instead of just constantly going, Cody's in one segment, and then here's Cody in another segment, and here's Cody in a beatdown, and here's Cody, you know, confronting Jacob Fatu. Like, it's cool that Jacob Fatu got so many freaking segments during SmackDown. Like, that's awesome. I'm glad he's getting a lot of love. But other than that, it was the same damn thing of just him showing up here, him confronting security guards, telling him, if you want to save your life, you better back the fuck up. And I'm like, damn, dude, like, this
I have a question. Why can't they just let him in every week? They know he works there.
Right? That's the thing I don't get either. I don't get that either. But yeah, they need to just basically take advantage of this transfer window, or just get rid of the freaking brand split altogether to make this roster feel like it can fit for 3 hours at this point. Until even then, even when you go back, if you would plan on going back to 2 hours, at least load the roster up. So that way you have something here, just anything. You know, how many times did we say that before leading into this, when they announced 3 hours for SmackDown, we were going to be like, oh God, this might be a problem. This might be a problem. Like, the first show, fine. Second show, you know, it was our huge issue. It literally led to the same thing we were saying leading up to it. Like, 3 hours might be a wrong decision here for SmackDown. Like, they need a refresh. They need to build the roster up more. Just something, anything that's going to make this show watchable for 3 hours.
Right, 100%. All right, Dylan, what was your thoughts on this debut of the 3 hour SmackDown?
Yeah, just kind of bouncing off what everybody else said. You know, everyone said their stuff perfectly good. The roster is way too small for a 3 hour show. You know, because if you don't boost this roster, you don't bring more people in, kill the brand split, and let people come over from show to show, then it's going to be recycled matches, segments here and there. You're going to get this person 5 weeks straight if you don't do something with this roster. So for when you got to expand it, you got to bring people over. Use the transfer window. Y'all were just talking about it. Kill the brand split. Because if it's not, the roster is way too small. I was looking at the rosters, comparing them Raw and SmackDown, and the SmackDown roster is not even half of what you see on the Raw roster. So, I mean, if the fans want to be excited about a 3 hour SmackDown, you got to improve that roster. The tag team division is really good. They're utilizing them very well over there. But I mean, everybody else, it's got to be new stuff, because you're going to get recycled stuff every single week if you don't get it better.
Right. And before I jump to Dango, I just want to, touch a little bit on it. Like, Dylan said, bouncing off what everyone said, we pretty much nailed it. Like what Justin said, the bloodline. Nothing against Jacob or anything, but it felt like for 3 hours, oh, Cody, bloodline, Cody, bloodline, Cody, bloodline. Like, really? You have other people in this roster that will love. Tag team division is on tact, which is no big deal. They're working with it. They're making everybody get in that spotlight. A-Town Down Under is getting there. I don't know what they're calling them. They've changed their name so many times. Berto and Garza.
Los Garzas.
Okay, thank you. I couldn't think what their name was.
Bert and Ernie.
Bert and Ernie. Well, that works too. That's pushing it. Motor Machine Guns is getting the spotlight. DIY. You seeing the anger in DIY as far as number one contenders and stuff. That tag team is actually under control. May not be a huge fan of her, but very proud of her. We saw a cash in of Tiffany, Stratton. So it's Tiffy time. She still continued to make that streak happen. But other than, we stated the roster is not big enough for 3 hours. And that's where they do need to improve on it. Make something happen. Bring up NXT. Trick Williams. Honestly, if he does, whenever he does come up after losing the title to Obafemi on NXT, that time I did mean to say NXT.
He did lose it, so
that's what I'm saying.
And
yes.
Rock was not happy that he took his TV time. And Obafemi was not happy Rock took his TV time.
Yeah, he'll get over it. So now that Trick Williams, if he comes up to main roster, Trick needs to go to SmackDown. Maybe start something back up with Carmelo Hayes. Something. They need to expand the SmackDown roster because right now it's not enough to cover for Monday Night Raw. I mean, SmackDown. Dango, take it over before I can rename the whole shows.
Yeah, like everyone's been saying. Yeah, the roster lacks depth. Like you got the women's division. Why does it feel like every time you get a new champion, either the footstool or the first feud's always Bayley? She's like the Dolph Ziggler doormat of the division, turning into like the first feud that you're gonna get. So like that's the first person. It's just like Tiffany. I think Tiffany and Rhea need to switch. In my honest opinion, they need to swap Tiffany and Rhea. Is because Tiffany has faced every woman on SmackDown and has lost to every goddamn woman in that division on SmackDown. At least once, if you look at the last year.
Yeah, you're right. And that's what's crazy.
And her record versus Bayley going into this title match next week.
She never beat her.
She's never beat her. Bayley is
what
9.
That means then, right?
Bayley is 9-0 versus Tiffany. Counting
Just
live
means
events.
Tiffany's winning on Friday.
Yeah, no duh. But still. It's just like it's like when Solo was on that 1,000 match losing streak where he didn't win a match for like 2 years and then got a push.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but what are you gonna do? You can't have Rhea go over the SmackDown. What are you gonna do? Have her lose to every single freaking woman on the roster? And on top of that, what if one or two people end up getting hurt on SmackDown?
They need to bring up some of these women. They need to bring up like a Roxanne and put her on SmackDown after Cora turns on her and they have their final feud up until Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, but even then, it's not like making an emergency call up in Major League Baseball or in the National Hockey League
they could be getting depth. If you look at the AEW with the way AEW storyline is going on, especially with Malachi Black, with them basically with everyone with Cope telling Brody King and Julia Hart, hey, I think it's time you go your separate ways. Same thing with Ospreay telling Buddy Matthews, hey, maybe it's time you go on your own. Basically signaling Malachi's contract might be done.
I mean, they basically have confirmed it's done because they haven't even mentioned his name since that whole incident. So Malachi could be coming in early February, possibly as a surprise Rumble participant, and Justin will be.
Yeah, I think he's gonna show up.
You're damn right, I will.
Especially when he plays his music and the crowd will be singing to his music.
When I hear that, no man is ever truly good, I'm gonna be like, let's fucking go.
Right.
Especially with the guy with the candles.
Yeah. We talked about streaks. It made me think of a streak of how like Solo had that long streak. Do y'all remember when Kurt Hawkins was in WWE and he went well over 300 some days and then turned around and won the tag titles with Zack Ryder at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember. I was actually rooting for them to. I don't even know who they went up against, and it was just like, oh my god, Kurt Hawkins won a match. And when we were talking about streaks, it made me think of that. All right. Speaking of matches, we're just going to do a little final go around. Just basically, we won't stay long on this. Just basically, we'll go around and just say your final thoughts, because I mean, this one's been up in the air. Who do you think is coming out as your new Intercontinental Inaugural Champion tomorrow night on Netflix? DJ, who's being the new women's Intercontinental Champion?
Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai.
That's
Chef. Right, it's DJ. Chef.
Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai as well. Dylan.
Yeah, I got Dakota as well. She's been in the shadow of Damage Control far too long. She's got to go on her own, become the first Intercontinental Champion.
Yep.
All right. Redeemer.
Yeah, I've been saying it for the longest time. I feel like this whole tournament is set up for Dakota. Like, as much as Lyra would be fine, and I'm not going to be disappointed genuinely if either one of these women win it. I just feel like this whole tournament, especially after that promo that Dakota cut, where she's basically saying, like, I'll make this my year. I'm going to win a championship. I go, if they would not have shown that if Dakota was not going to come out there and win the whole damn thing. So I honestly think Dakota's winning this.
All right, Dango.
I'm also going Dakota. My heart says Dakota. My head is saying Lyra.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is a top.
I can totally see it being Lyra too.
So there's no confidence.
Yeah, it is a real toss up. I got these two.
Any of these.
No.
I had these two in the final. I had these two in the finals when this tournament started. It is a toss up.
Yes, I mean, it is a toss up in this match. Like Dango says, his heart's saying Dakota, his head's saying Lyra. But I've learned when it comes to predictions to always go with your heart, because about 90% of the time they come true. So as much as I love Lyra, she has really improved. I've got, a couple Raws that I've gone to here within the last year or two, got to witness her, wrestle in real life, and she is amazing. Definitely, women's champion material later. But I'm going with my heart on this. She needs it. Like DJ says, she's been in Damage Control's shadow for quite some time, and it's time to break out. So I'm going with my heart. Dakota Kai is going to be the inaugural Intercontinental Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Enough said. Mm-hmm. All right, Dango, we're going to jump to you on this one. We're getting a street fight between Priest and Balor tomorrow. Is this the end of it, or are we still going to have it continue? What do you think?
I think this is the end of the feud, but I hate to say it, I got Damian Priest. I want to give it to Finn Balor, but unless they're going Demon for the next one, then I'm not totally sure. So I'm going Damian Priest, and I think this might be the end. I think this feud needs to be over. This feud needs to be in the trash, especially with Liv and Rhea, along with Liv and Rhea.
Mm-hmm. Chef?
Yeah, I had to say Damian Priest too. The only possible way that I could pick Finn Balor is the Demon King, but I don't think we're ever gonna get that either.
Yeah. I don't know. Anything's possible nowadays. Well, I guess we'll find out. All right, Dylan.
Yeah, I'm going Damian as well. This feud should have been over a long time ago. It's been far too long for this one, so Damian's got to win it to finish it off.
Okay, DJ.
Yeah, I got Damian. I think I think this feud's over, but yeah, I think Priest is going to win.
All right. As much as I am a Finn Balor fan, I'm actually wearing a Finn Balor shirt right now as we speak. But I honestly think Priest is going to get this win. I mean, they're going to torment each other left and right in this match. But I do hopefully Finn is getting a lot of TV time, which I've really enjoyed because there was like that little spurt that he didn't. But I honestly think this is the end of this feud. It needs to be end of the feud, and it needs to go aside like the whole Liv and Rhea did. So yeah, Priest is walking out as the winner on that one. Sorry, Finn, I love you still. Don't hate me. Speaking of storylines as well, Chef, do you think with the end of the bloodline, is Solo giving up, or is he still going to keep coming after Roman? What do you think?
Did Justin pick it? Did we skip Justin in the last one? I don't remember Justin giving it for that.
Yeah, oh my goodness, Justin. Golly. All right, Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Is that who's winning, and is that the end of the feud?
I got Priest winning this.
Okay.
I think right now the whole thing going into this right now is Finn leaving Judgment Day at this point. Honestly, I think Judgment Day is on the way of just being out. I think that whole entire faction is going to end up disintegrating. They're all going to go their separate ways at this point. Like, we've seen it so many times. It's the tension between like Finn and Dom and Finn with everybody at this point. He's basically at the point where he's done with it. He's going to be the one to get kicked out of the entire other faction right now. But I don't see that faction lasting long enough. Like after that. But this needs to be the end. Like after what happened at SummerSlam, where Finn cost Priest the world title. Okay, that made all the sense in the world. But when they ran it back and did the same exact finish all over again, I went, why the hell did we go back to this? Especially literally when their match right after Finn screwed him out of the world championship was Priest winning. That was it. That should have been the end right there. So there was genuinely no reason to go back to this. But
I thought it was going to be the end.
I know, same. I really did. But if they have the little bit of story left to tell where it's going to lead to Finn leaving Judgment Day and then the dissension of the Judgment Day till it eventually just disappears, then I can completely understand going back to this. But this needs to be the end of this. No more after this.
Yep, 100%. And my apologies, Justin. I didn't realize you did not go. I'm kind of doped up on Dayquil here, so I'm kind of
all good.
I was just like, wait, he didn't go. So
yeah, because I was sitting here, I'm like,
no, literally, if we'd have skipped me, I would have been like fine with it because at the end, like if we were going to talk Bloodline, I'm ready to talk Bloodline.
Right, exactly. Well, if that's the case, let's go ahead and just start off with Justin. Talk Bloodline. Let it out.
So genuinely, I don't see Solo going back to Roman at this point. I don't see him going after Roman. Honestly, this is either gonna be where. So here's the thing. I remember Solo's one line earlier on where he said, "Losing has consequences." That is the main thing of what happened. So far, Solo has lost in two of the biggest things for the entire Bloodline situation, where it was tribal combat against Roman and War Games. Right now, Solo has lost. Solo was the one that ate the pin in War Games. Like this genuinely so far, Solo's words of him saying that have not been backed up. Where is Solo's repercussions for losing at this point?
Jacob's going to throw him out.
Yeah, at this point, the only thing that's going forward is Solo's getting kicked out of the Bloodline at this point, and that is all I can see happening. But then Jacob's going to take over the brand new Bloodline, and then I'm fine with that in the long run. But I look at it and I just go, I think of how much longer you could have continuously told the story and how much better it would have been if Roman had just lost in tribal combat. It should have literally been Drew McIntyre fucking over Roman Reigns to not only back up his 1 down 4 to go line the entire time, but having finally where we look at it this way, Roman has not changed since he's come back. He's still the same old Roman Reigns. The only difference is now the crowd cheers him instead of boos him. That's legitimately the only difference right now with this Roman. It's the same Roman in the long run. If you want Roman to get his freaking whole moment where he's like, oh my God, I have nothing. Like I'm not even considered tribal chief anymore. That should have been the outcome during tribal combat. Was Solo losing or Solo winning because of the fact that Drew McIntyre freaking has the entire Survivor Series team in his sights and he wants to destroy it. Like, it just would have came off so much better story-wise to where Roman's now in a slump going into stuff where he's like, oh my God, I'm not even considered tribal chief. I can't even beat Solo. I have to go after Drew. What if he starts losing to Drew at some point? Like, there could have been so much more to tell if the opposite outcome had come out of tribal combat. But literally, right now, I don't know where we could go after Solo gets kicked out, because that's genuinely what I see coming. It's Solo's words are finally going to come back to bite him in the ass, and it's going to cause him to get kicked out of the bloodline. The only thing that's going to be really confusing is, will it be Solo going back to the OG bloodline, or what's going to happen? Is Solo going to go on his own then? Like, it's going to be a difficult decision, because I don't know genuinely if you can make any sense out of anything else after that, unless you're going to give us Jacob and Solo at WrestleMania, which is an interesting match, I guess, if you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
But in the long run, after that, that's it with that. So I just feel like we messed up somewhere along the line, but it's going to be a hell of a way to go about it by kicking Solo out. But it's, I'm ready. I'm just physically spent when it comes to bloodline stuff. I'm just done with it. I'm ready for it to just be over. I want us to get to the climax, and we all know what the climax of this entire thing is, and it's Rock and Roman. I wish we could just get to that matchup at Mania, get it over with, and move on from this bloodline stuff. Like, you cannot
have to wait another year. You might have to wait another year.
I hate it. I fucking hate it. I'll just say it. I cannot stand it. I'm so freaking bloodline fatigued that I just want it to just be done. And I want them. It's like, literally, you have the opportunity and you're going to miss out on it again. You literally decided to almost sacrifice your one matchup. So then you finally went back to it at 40. And now you have the opportunity to basically say, you want this matchup, we can do it at 41, and you're not going to do it at 41. And that's what really sucks. Like, WWE really has moments where they fuck up a lot. And this is one of them right now, where if you're going to miss out on Rock and Roman again, you're going to eventually get to people that don't care. And they just don't. When the match happens, they're not going to fucking care. They're going to be over it. Like, they just want it to just happen, be done. When the 3 counts over, they're going to be like, thank God it's done and over with. Because that's how I'm going to feel. I'm so, like I said, I'm physically bloodline wiped, and I just want it to be over.
McKinsey says the final boss, The Rock, is stubborn.
Damn right he is.
Well,
I think
Justin pretty much nailed the bloodline. Is there anybody else that want to speak their mind about the bloodline? I mean, Justin pretty much nailed everything we probably was thinking.
They just remind me, at this point, they just remind me of the NWO after Starrcade 97.
Yeah.
And I'm dead serious. There's a reason why I say that. Is because you parallel what's been going on with the bloodline, especially now since Roman came back.
Right.
And you have him on one side, you got Solo and Rock on the other side. And those of us who were old enough, and I mean everybody who was old enough to remember WCW, I mean, is old enough to remember the NWO. In my opinion, they should have broke up after 1990s. They should have at least started to break up after 1997. Right. I mean, 96, they were great. They were so cool. They were the outlaws. They were the rebels. They basically were a legit threat. Hogan, Hall, Nash. I mean, before Eric Bischoff basically inserted himself into the spokesperson managerial role, which got old quick. Mm-hmm. They already had one. It was Ted DiBiase. And they had Rick Rude before. They had Rick Rude before then. And oh wait a minute, that was Jazz. I'm sorry. But the NWO had Ted DiBiase. And 1997, they were still great, but this was starting to get a little bit stale. It was just starting to by that either summer or the fall. That's when you should have had, in my personal opinion, that's when you should have had the Horsemen win against what ended up being the NWOB team. They should have had the Horsemen win War Games in North Carolina. That didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But then what rectified everything was have Sting either pin Hogan or make him tap out, which I thought was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in the Scorpion Deathlock, make him tap out clean in the middle of the ring. Clean right in the middle of the ring with no NWO interference, by the way. Because one of the things that really hurt them was that every single other Nitro, and there will be NWO interference. Oh. It got old that, but instead we all know what happened in Starrcade.
Yeah,
I mean 18 months of hype just went right down the drain, and then the finger poke of doom happened.
Oh God!
On the very same night that Raw had, Raw showed Mankind winning the WWF Championship.
Yeah. I look back at it this way. The one thing is like all you'll see on social media is everyone's just like, let's just keep bringing Bloodline members in. Let's just keep bringing Bloodline members in. Every time somebody gets signed, it's we'll get him in the Bloodline story. Get him in the Bloodline story. I'm telling you, by the time we get even remotely more and more members added to the entire thing, we're gonna be doing a fucking 40-on-40 War Games match, and it's gonna be the entire fucking show is just gonna be one War Games match with a 20-on-20 like freaking War Game like Bloodline match, and it's just gonna be like ridiculous. Like,
and how long would that be? War Games
the whole show.
Yeah, War Games War Games officially can't even start until every single participant is in the game.
War Games will become a
2-hour
show, 2-day night. There we go. Just to get all the War Games.
It'll become a friggin' 2-day friggin' spectacle where we'll have to watch it from friggin' 7 o'clock Saturday night to Sunday night at 9 o'clock to get to a 20-on-20.
Yeah, I know, right? Anybody else want to touch the Bloodline?
Every single Samoan will be in WWE by the time they're done with this angle. Yeah. I feel like they're just stuffing it down our freaking necks like every single time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Zilla and man, just everybody. They're going to put everybody on there, and it just makes no sense that they're going to sit and toss everything down our throats. Why? They've done enough.
Yep. We can blame The Rock for all these issues because basically, if he didn't have to do his stupid Mohana reshoots, do your stuff correctly if you showed up on time.
That shouldn't even technically stop him. He still has freaking months to go before WrestleMania, so you can't tell me that this.
No, but that's when they're scheduled to do the Mohana reshoots. Justin, is March and April.
It's fucking animated.
No, it's not. It's live action.
Since when?
It's the live action Mohana. They already did the Mohana 2 already came out. It's a live action Mohana movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If you've seen the screenshots from the freaking footage from the actual set, he looks like fucking The Rock from fucking Scorpion King.
God, I wish we had the off of the direction you can fuck clip right now.
Yeah,
they're already redoing Moana.
Yep, live action before they finished doing.
You're kidding me. They just doing Mufasa's in theaters right now.
Yep,
And then-
Rock's got to make back all his money. You got to think, man. He
I
lost
hate it.
He lost so much money because of Red One. And if anyone else saw that movie's atrocious. I saw it because it was free on Prime.
Justin, this is as close as I can get to the Rock clip. This is how we're gonna
Go fuck yourself.
Good enough. I'll take it.
So yeah,
want to touch on the bloodline story.
Dylan, do you have any thoughts on the bloodline?
Yeah, I kind of felt like Solo was made for this character from one person only, and that was Roman. And now that he lost to Ulafala, and I kind of feel like there's almost no direction for him to go other than the bloodline kicking him out. Jacob Fatu, he has the big obsession with Solo, and now I feel like he's gonna use all that and the loss to Roman to his advantage, and he's gonna turn at some point. I'm not sure when, but whenever he does, I mean, Jacob's a star. I mean, he don't need to be in this bloodline storyline. He's a star by himself, and soon enough, when he breaks off from it, he's a world champion in the making, and it's not even close. But yeah, Solo was made for Roman, and now that it's over, I kind of feel like both of them are kind of lost right now in the shuffle, because Roman, we're gonna get The Rock and him pretty soon. I would assume, but as far as Solo goes, I'm not sure. Other than maybe Jacob, and that's it. So I don't really know, but I mean, I kind of agree with everybody. This whole bloodline stuff needs to end at some point, and hopefully that point comes pretty soon.
Yep. So. Yep, but Kayla, I think it's time we move on to another topic. I think everyone's bloodline.
I think pretty much on the same topic. They're fed up with it. They want it to end. Like Dylan said, Solo needs to go on his needs to branch off, do his own thing. Jacob Fatu needs to branch off and do his own thing. So that being true. All right, before we jump into some early Rumble and money, you'll see what that is here in a minute. We're just going to go around and touch this real quick. Name the one person who you want to see as champion in 2025. Like someone that's never been a champion. It could be the world title. It could be maybe tag team, or even as far as a mid-card title goes. Marcus says Dylan is pulling a double duty is indubitably great.
Marcus.
All right. Dylan, who would you like to see champion in 2025?
The closest we have for Jubilee music is
Uh-oh.
Good
Really?
enough. Yeah, indubitably.
Anyway.
I'm gonna go with Ludwig Kaiser. I would like to see him gain like the Intercontinental title or something this year or something. I mean, the guy is really good. He doesn't need to be in Gunther's shadow at all. He's really good, man. We talked I believe it was our last show of the year, and I was talking about breakout stars, and Kaiser was on everyone's list for that one.
Yeah.
He's a star, and soon enough the company's gonna realize that.
I actually agree 100%. Even when he had that title match, for Intercontinental, I was kind of hoping he would win, but he didn't. But I actually 100% agree with that. DJ, who would you like to be champion in 2025?
Honestly, I'm going to say this, and y'all going to laugh at me, but I would like to see LA Knight be the world heavyweight champion.
Yes.
That would be, I think that would go over so well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna, once he lost the United States title, I thought that they were gonna start pushing him towards something like that. But I mean,
Right.
But yeah, I thought so too. But that didn't end up happening.
yeah, actually, I'm gonna change that answer. I honestly think that I would like to see Penta come in and at the end of the year him get like the United States title or even the Intercontinental title.
Okay.
I like that.
Absolutely. All right, Chef from Saudi, Illinois.
And yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I would really like to see Ludwig Kaiser. I mean, I'm winning either the at least the IC title, or the US title would be good for him. I mean, he doesn't need to be in Gunther's shadow. They're both great. They don't need to be under anybody else's star. They're good enough on their own. And I'm with you. I thought that they were going to push LA Knight toward that world heavyweight title spot, but I'm toward that WWE title spot already, but that didn't happen. I hope that he wins. I hope that he wins at least sometime this year. It doesn't need to be right away. No, but even if it's really late in the year, I would like to see him get it.
Okay.
As far as the women go, that would be a very good question, because you just got we just had Tiffy Time cash in successfully.
Ooh, I like all three of those picks.
Ooh, Marcus says Santos, Michin, or even Xavier win a single title decision. I actually agree with all three of those, definitely. All right, redeeming Rodimer. Who do you want to see?
Redeemer,
whatever.
Well, I've got two. One absolutely is Javon Evans in NXT. Like,
okay,
they use him so much on television. I would love to see him just go in there and at least win the North American title. It doesn't have to be all the freaking all out and just give him the NXT title. Like, the way they put him on television, the way the crowd's behind him, everything else, just get him to the North American title once, and I would be super happy. But the one person, like, main roster wise, that I want to see, is I want to see them run it back with Chad Gable. I really, really do. Chad Gable is unbelievably phenomenal when it comes to in that ring, and just all the stuff that they did with Gunther with him, where everyone was like, it's going to happen here. It's going to happen here. And I still just genuinely don't get why they never pulled the trigger on Gable once to win that Intercontinental title off of Gunther. That just made genuinely no sense to me. But honestly, I still believe that they're going to move all of American Made over to SmackDown. I am within all the belief that they're going to have that happen. If that's the case, I think Gable needs to go over to SmackDown. I think the first thing he needs to do is put his sight on that United States title. Just something.
Gable, that would be perfect for him.
Yes, absolutely. Like, it's just, it doesn't have to be world title. If you want to build him up and like Kurt Angle and have him start low and then bring him up high enough to eventually one day that Gable pulls out the huge surprise victory and wins a world championship, fine. But just we were this close to having Gable win a mid-card championship when it should have happened, and now it's just like, let's bring him over to SmackDown and let's actually pull the fucking trigger on him this time.
Right. And then McKenzie said Austin Theory should get a push. He's good in the ring, so much potential and charisma. I'm actually going to agree with you on that one. He's, let's go ahead and mark it. Sunday, what's the date? Sunday, January 12th, 9:08 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm not saying they fully grown, but Austin Theory's kind of growing on me on SmackDown. I'll give you that credit. Okay. Not going to hear that again,
Waller?
Justin.
What about my boy Waller? Come on.
Not yet. You at least got Austin.
Come on.
Remember when they were supposed to remember when they were supposed to turn on each other?
Yeah, no, that never happened.
Threw that out. They threw that out, and they know they did.
Exactly. All right, Dango. Who would you like to see champion this year?
I have one name, and I don't care if he wins the United States IC or tag team title with the Miz. I'm going with Karrion Kross. I would like to see either if the Miz can get Karrion Kross over, the Miz would be one of the GOATs if he can do that.
Oh my God, let's go.
And it's actually funny that you said that, because I was on the same boat as you, because I was sitting here thinking about it. I don't care if it's the mid title, tag titles with him, but like you said, look who he's teaming up with. He's messing with him. You're right. If anybody can push over Karrion Kross with the crowd in WWE, it's the Miz. So if he walks out either U.S. title You could help with the help of Miz, either walk out as United States champion, Intercontinental, or a tag team with the Miz at some point. I'm 100% for it because he deserves it. He deserves to a mid-card title at some point because, you know, a lot of people says this whole Final Testament / Wyatt 6 is boring as crap. Sorry, I love it. I'm a huge fan of Cross, and I'm glad he's getting TV time. So in the honor of him, you know, getting TV time. Where is it? One. Where's this one? Here we go.
TikTok. TikTok. TikTok.
TikTok.
Yes.
And you know what? I'll go a step further. If everything works out, I mean, if the right cards play out, you know who he should win the tag titles with? Malachi freaking Black.
Oh my god. Yes.
Can you imagine? Like we stated this. Can you imagine Malachi joining the Final Testament? A lot of people say he deserves better than that, but that would be one hell of a. Oh my gosh! Well, speaking of,
and on top of that, I would
I
love
think
to
he's
see
more of a.
Cara
I think he's
Bordeaux
more of a
wrestle.
SmackDown because Zelina's over there. So unless they get switched,
Zelina's on Raw.
Yeah, the whole LWO's on Raw.
oh yeah, I bet.
So there you go. I'm telling you, Kayla's favorite, my favorite. Let's fucking go.
Let's do it. All right. Speaking of future champions, we're gonna just do a little something fun. First one up is Royal Rumble. For men and women, who do you want to win and who you think is winning? Redeemer.
Early predictions.
This is early. I mean, it could
God.
change. But if you had to sit here and pick right now, who would you want to win and who do you think is winning? Just by everything that's been based off of.
See, that's tough. Like, I don't even have a pick for this, honestly. Like, going into this is probably going to be one of the better Rumbles. First off, because right now, think about who we've had announced, especially for the men's side so far. Roman Reigns has been announced for the Rumble. John Cena is announced for the Rumble. Punk is more than likely going to be in the Rumble. Seth Rollins is going to be in the Rumble. Like, that Rumble, just by those 4, is stacked to the brim right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could say the obvious pick for the men's is going to be John Cena. You know, the man's going to aim for 17, which, you know, being the big Cena guy here, I wouldn't be against it, but I get like Cena kind of has another story that he needs to get a win first because he hasn't won in over like 2,000 days. So I get that if he wants to complete that first before winning the Rumble, something like that. But this is the good thing with this Rumble this year is not only is it going to be super stacked, there is no confident picks here so far, men's or women's, really. That's a tough one. That's a good thing. It's not super unpredictable because it's just like everybody usually there's been years when we go on into the Royal Rumble and we just go, yeah, they're clearly winning. Oh, they're clearly winning. Mm-hmm. Now we're going into this one this year. It's loaded and we're all going, I don't know who to pick here because I don't even know who to like lock myself into here. The bad thing though for the women's side is I have a bad feeling it's just gonna fucking be Charlotte. And I cannot stand any thought of that because of the fact that I can't, you know, immediately who she's going to target. It's probably going to be Tiffany. And I don't want to see Tiffany go in there with Charlotte and then fucking lose to Charlotte. Like that just comes off as you had the opportunity to continuously build Tiffany and then you took it away from her once again. Like it's almost kind of repeating what NXT did with her. They gave her the NXT Women's Championship, and that was her way of getting herself more developed in there. Honestly, like she was still super green before she won the championship, but then when she won the title, it was like she genuinely got better and better and better each freaking match to the point where, yes, she dropped it to Becky, and everyone was like, oh, well, this really wasn't the right decision to do, and I still genuinely didn't like them dropping the title to Becky off of Tiffany. But in the long run, this is kind of a repeat for her where she's going to win the championship. She's got the title. She's going into this and she's going to make herself even better with like character wise, wrestling wise. just feel like you're gonna ruin it if you have Charlotte win the fucking Rumble because they're gonna be like, well, we got to get Charlotte's numbers enhanced again. Like, I hate that pick with every freaking fiber of my being, but I have a bad feeling it's gonna happen. But yeah, overall, I'm just glad it's unpredictable this year. I love that we can go into this Rumble this year and not feel confident in our picks. And that's going to be the good thing because then we have some interesting stuff to tell during WrestleMania.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Dylan, what's your thoughts on?
For the men's side, I got the same answer for both, for who I want and who I think. I think it's going to be CM Punk. I think it's 11 years in the making. You know, he was supposed to win it back in 2014, but he got screwed over by Trips bringing in his best friend to win it and to go to WrestleMania, which was eventually turned into a triple threat with Daniel Bryan winning it. CM Punk, I think, is the best option. You know, they're always talking about Cena this, Cena that, you know, winning the Rumble, going to Mania. I think if he doesn't win the Rumble, they're advertising him heavy for the Elimination Chamber, and I think he'll be there and potentially win the Elimination Chamber over there in Toronto. But even if he doesn't do that, I think the retirements come at the end of the year. You know, he's going to get to 17 at some point, but I don't think it needs to be right now. And for the women's side, who I would like for Becky to come back and win it. But I got to agree with Justin. I think Charlotte Flair is going to win it, and, you know, she's going to target Tiffany Stratton. I think that match is already being worked on, and I think it's going to happen at Mania.
All right, DJ?
For the women's, I think it's going to be Charlotte myself.
Hold up, not to cut you off, but we got to get...
Yeah.
All right, DJ, continue.
Yeah, I truthfully, I think that Charlotte's going to win it for the women, or it might be Becky. But for the men, is what I'm really like on the edge for. I don't have an answer because they can go so many different ways. But honestly, I think it's going to be Punk. And that's what's sad about everything. Why are they going to use Punk when they can use like LA Knight or somebody like that?
Ooh.
Okay, McKenzie. Okay.
Interesting.
I like that.
And
then he also said Roman Reigns. And he said Roman Reigns.
That would be a nice surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Chef.
Yeah, I think on the men's side, I think it's gonna be Punk because, I mean, if he already main evented Mania, I mean, I would not have picked him this year, but he has never done it. It's one of the reasons why he came back. So it's the reason that's gonna make me pick him. I think that this year's storyline, in his case, if he's gonna main event, if he's gonna be in the main event of the biggest show of the year, this is gonna be the year. This is gonna be his time to do it. He's gonna need to end up finishing his story the way that Cody did last year. And yeah, I do have to agree that I'm afraid it's gonna be. I fear that it's going to be Charlotte.
Okay. All right, Dango.
I have John Cena winning the Royal Rumble. I think it's going to be Cena, and I think it's going to be Charlotte winning on the women's side. Or I think it's either going to end up being Charlotte or Io winning it for the women.
Io?
Okay.
Yeah. I think Io gets her moment because of at that. So, Kayla?
For the men's, this could be a toss-up either way. Like we said, it could be Roman Reigns. People said it could be John Cena. But like Dylan said, they're heavily pushing him for the Elimination Chamber so he could possibly get his opportunity through that way. Considering when I went to the Rumble last year, wow, it's hard to believe that Rumbles was last year that I went. When I went last year, considering it was supposed to be CM Punk originally, that was the rumors that went only for it turned around to be Cody Rhodes. I believe that this is going to be Punk's Royal Rumble win. As far as the females goes, I know who I would love to return to win the Rumble, only because they haven't done it yet, and I would like to see them witness that history-making moment. Is one Miss Twisted Bliss herself, Alexa Bliss. Would be awesome. That's who I would love to win it. As much as I do love this person, I have a feeling she is going to end up coming back and winning the Royal Rumble, and that is one Miss Charlotte Flair. So that's where we stand on that. So we're all hard with the Royal Rumble predictions. Let's strain your brain a little bit more. Just a little fun. Your Money in the Bank possible winner.
Oh damn!
Way out.
Dango. If you were WWE right now, sitting at your desk, let's say you're in Triple H's shoes. Royal Rumble's passed, WrestleMania's passed, and it's time to set up Money in the Bank. Let's do it this way. Who would you book to win women's and men's Royal Money in the Bank? We'll do it that way. Who would you book?
Men's, I would go Jacob Fatu.
Let's go.
Ooh, okay.
And women's, I think I'm gonna go with Candice LeRae. Someone different.
Something different. All right, Justin, how would you book Money in the Bank? We'll do it that way since it's.
See, I'm gonna side with Dango's pick on Jacob Fatu. That when that man enters Money in the Bank, it's gonna be insane. Like he's gonna go on a tear, and I could see him walking out with Money in the Bank. For the women, I'm going Naomi. I think right now with the tease that she's going heel,
a glow in the dark briefcase.
I think, but also I think with the tease of her basically coming with it coming up that she's basically teasing going heel right now. I could see it where again she's been on this big losing streak, and eventually she's gonna have to start picking up a bunch of wins. But what if one of her biggest wins is Money in the Bank? Like this could help solidify that heel turn big time for her. So yeah, I'm locking in Naomi to win the women's one, and I like the Jacob Fatu pick.
I'm actually changing my women's. I'm changing my women's to Jade Cargill.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh. Okay. Mackenzie
I
has
saw
actually
DJ's
a good...
face. I saw DJ's face.
Charlotte needs to create a female faction. She doesn't need to be in the championship.
We need to be in the
picture
championship.
Right you know they don't matter with whenever the hell she shows back up, they put her right in the championship picture because all right, we got to get her as close to 16 in the fastest time possible.
All right, Chef. If you were booking Money in the Bank, you're Triple H. How would you book? Who would you have winning the Royal Rumble? Not the Royal Rumble. Oh, here we go again.
Money in the Bank.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I just love
Kayla.
I just love
Jacob. Dango.
I just love Jacob Fatu. He would be perfect for Money in the Bank. But let's say, in just in case that he didn't, if I didn't book him in for the men's Money in the Bank, you know who would be a surprise pick? L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Hold up. Where's it at? Here we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Wow. and for the women, Naomi would be absolutely perfect.
Really, KPG. Really.
I'm not gonna lie.
We need to have a talk. No.
Honestly, KPG, I agree with him.
I'm not gonna lie, KPG, that would kind of be wild.
Dango, since you said that, this is for you. This is for you. Don't take it personally.
Anderson, shut the hell up.
You're not supposed to take that personal.
He's got a point. LA Knight is so 2023.
But
wow.
But yeah, on the women's side though,
better than people
on the women's side though,
Rob Conway.
Excuse me. On the women's side though, I think a heel Naomi with a glow in the dark briefcase. I think it would absolutely be perfect. And let's see, if not her, if not her, let's see, Tiffany wouldn't need Money in the Bank right now because she's already. I would not put. Granted, Naomi, she's been champion already as well. A lot of people would tend to forget that because she hasn't won anything in so long. But
Right.
let's see. I think Candice LeRae will be a good sleeper.
I like that.
Okay. Right.
If
Dylan,
not,
your
if
trip.
if not her, hey, if not her, I think it would. I think definitely Jay Cargill.
Okay. All right. Dylan, your Triple H. How would you book this Money in the Bank? Who's your winners?
Yeah, for the women's side, I love the Naomi pick. You know, I for one did not even think about her for one reason, but you know, everybody's giving really good reasons why. So I'm gonna latch on and go Naomi. For the men's side, I know everyone's gonna come at me for it, but I love the character work, and I think that he could be pushed to be a big star this year. I'm going Dominic Mysterio for the men's side. I love Dom.
Hey,
I
Dom.
think the character work is really good. And I think if he's pushed the right way, not just latching on to whoever the women's champion is, like try to go back with Rhea, being with Liv Morgan, you know, I think this guy has really big potential to be something huge this year. And I think if they put the Money in the Bank, briefcase with him, it could be some good stuff. So I'm going with Dom.
I love
I kind of like that.
right now.
I actually really do like that one, to be honest with you. KPG says, Jade, have her win the Rumble, the Chamber, the WrestleMania main event, Money in the Bank, Survivor Series, Hell in a Cell, everything imaginable. Then KPG we'd get tired of Jade Cargill by the end of the year.
Before DJ,
Yeah, and I don't think that you want that.
Before DJ has a heart attack down there and resurrects his father.
Wow, that's messed up.
Wow, really? But
I'm just
anyway,
messing with him. He knows that.
all right. You're sitting in Triple H's desk and you're in charge of booking Money in the Bank. Who is your women's and men's winner, DJ?
Oh,
Kane and China.
Okay.
No. For the women's, I like
I
the
know
Naomi.
you wouldn't, KPG.
I know the for the women's, I really want to see Naomi win. But for the men's, I mean, Austin Theory would be really a good pick. But I like the Dom pick. That would be different.
Okay.
But the thing is, when he needs to go back to prison. The thing is, if he cashes in, he needs to lose, do something bad where he goes back in for another day, and then he goes back to the prison gimmick.
so good. He loses Money in the Bank so much that he snaps and he ends up back in prison.
Yeah. And this time, instead of getting 1 day, he gets 2 days.
No, I'll go a step further. If they didn't turn that place into such a tourist destination, have him go to Alcatraz like Roddy Piper did before Super Bowl, where he would spend an entire week in that place.
Just think about this, or because we're trying to shut down the bloodline gimmick and all that kind of stuff. Just think about Dom going into the Uso penitentiary.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
That would be so funny, but so
damn. I love that.
All right. Man, if I was Triple H and I was booking this Money in the Bank, women's, I actually do like the whole Naomi, and I will say that because everything adds up. And we've already got the pink briefcase for Tiffany, so I wouldn't mind a glow in the dark Money in the Bank briefcase for Naomi. I think that would be really cool. And as far as the men goes, if I was booking this, just because I believe, because they've never won a Royal Rumble and they've never won a Money in the Bank, and I feel like they've been lost in the shuffle forever. That one person is Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor should, maybe get a little I don't know what she's doing over there. Don't mind Mama Chaos over there. She's just doing something. I don't know if you hear it. I don't know what she's doing. But yes, definitely Finn Balor and Naomi would definitely be my 2 picks for that. So I need to kind of like rest my throat right now. So Dango, you're the one to put this on here. I'll let you take over for the time being. Yeah. I will speak just go around, and when it's my turn, I'll say it, but I need to kind of.
Okay, so Monday kicked off the John Cena farewell tour. So I have a question for everyone. Which is your dream feud for this final run for Cena? Who's someone you like him to feud with for the final run? We'll start off with DJ.
Nobody. He needs to retire now. That's all she wrote. Bye-bye, John Cena. Thank you for being a good sport, but get out of the business. Bye.
We could tell that he didn't like John Cena. No. Oh, yeah, because of your story. Okay, I remember from WrestleMania 30, right? If you want to tell it from the people that didn't know.
Thank God for The Undertaker. Thank you for Mark Calloway. Me and my brother was sitting right beside me, and we were sitting in a gorilla after the Bray Wyatt and Cena and Bray Wyatt was before Taker and Lesnar. We were sitting there waiting on this match, and Cena come through through the curtain and looked at Taker, and he's like, "Yeah, follow that." And I went to jump up, and Taker like mommy barred me. He's like, "Little Moody, sit down now." If he comes close to me, I'm gonna punch him in his fucking mouth. I cannot stand John Cena. Never have.
Hey Dylan, were you at that one? The 30?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You really? In the same. Yep.
Yeah, I went to both in New Orleans, 30 and 34. Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Damn.
Yep.
So Dylan,
That's
who would
crazy.
your dream feud be for Cena for his final run if he had to go against one final person?
Man, I don't know how I followed that. Man, you put me on the spot here. Yeah, I mean, if gun to my head, I gotta pick somebody. I mean, I loved his work with Randy Orton. I mean, it would be nice to get that nostalgia back, but I mean, I don't think and honestly, personal issues aside, I don't think he should feud with anybody. I think your farewell tour should kind of be against everybody. I mean, fight anybody that you haven't fought before, and just go that route. You don't need to fight anybody that you've done it already with. It doesn't really pay. So really, don't go in a feud with anybody. Just have fun with it and do it all.
Okay. Chef.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I mean, if he was the quote unquote feud of anybody, and why not just fight everyone that you have never been in the ring with before? The only fitting people that would make a great last feud for him. I mean, Cody, he's too busy being the guy. You don't need a feud with him, and they're both baby faces. What sense would that make? And you can't feud with CM Punk. You can't feud with him. He has his entire thing with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, and the most fitting person, Randy Orton. But he's going to retire He's going to retire it within a year or two as well. So you can't. So it wouldn't make sense to. To feud with him. Why not have matches against people that you have never been in the ring before, and put some of these young guns over, and pass the torch, and then your final match, and just tell everybody, I mean, thanks for your support. Everybody will say, thanks for the memories, John. Thank you for everything that you have done for WWE, for wrestling in general. and just ride off into the sunset. Because he really doesn't need to really do that much of anything. Whether he gets the 17 titles or not, it really doesn't even matter. That's why I don't even think he's going to get that. He's going to get that 17th belt. If he does win the title, maybe the IC one, because he never won that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Justin?
I mean, outside of just like the genuine, like same feuds that we've seen Cena have, like Orton and Punk, and hell, even Owens, if he wanted to run back an Owens feud one more time, like the only one I could really think of that would be beneficial, especially for a young guy, is have Cena feud with Braun Breaker. Honestly. If Breaker goes over Cena, on Cena's way out, what a way to just tell you right there, this guy's the next guy right here in Braun Breaker. He beat John Cena. Like that's the one that I think of right there. Like if you want to solidify a young guy in any way possible, and Cena wants to be that guy to just go out there and be like, this is the guy right here. I say do it with Breaker. Like right now, that man is on a freaking tear. He's, eventually, like, hell, if you wanted that to be the Cena feud for the Intercontinental title right there, that's your way to go. Cena wants to win the one championship that he hasn't won, but in the process, he's going to take an L and put over a brand new, like, big face that eventually is, in all of our eyes, a guaranteed world champion in his own right. That's how you do it. Like, this is it. You want to see him work with the new guys. There's one new guy right there in Braun Breaker that just screams megastar soon to be, and that's your way of doing it, by having him get put over by Cena. So I'm sticking with Braun.
I think for me, I would have to give a couple people. I want to see maybe a feud with Logan Paul. I hate to say it. I want to see the LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, and Braun Breaker.
Jacob Fatu would be a nice one.
And an LA Knight would be good too. LA Knight versus Cena.
yeah.
Honestly, Cena feuding with Jacob Fatu would be a freaking fantastic one, because what if he brings up Umaga the entire time? Like, that'd be a nice bring up, like a nice mention there, while Jacob starts like being like, listen, I could be the one that in this family, outside of Umaga that sadly couldn't do it. I could do it right here, and I could beat you and put you out of your misery. Like, I love that big time. Like, Jacob's seemingly got a rocket pack strapped to his back right now, so here's your way of doing it for him too.
Okay. Kayla, who was your dream feud be for John Cena?
Considering when I first got into wrestling, I'm not saying I would like just this, but I do like the whole fact him feuding with other people, and I'll name who I'd like to see him feud. But at least at some point after he's done feuding with multiple different people he's never feuded with, I wouldn't mind John Cena and Randy Orton running it back, just for one, even if it's a one good match, just to, finish it out, because, they're never going to be in the ring again. With each other. Eventually, maybe, going in the Hall of Fame, might want to the person that I don't know, who knows at this point. But I wouldn't mind seeing John Cena and Randy Orton win it again, considering that's what got me reeled in at first when I started watching it. But as far as dream feuds, maybe not necessarily dream matches in a way, I cannot believe I'm saying this. This is going to burn my tongue. I wouldn't mind. He's already called him at one point out on his podcast. Logan Paul wants to go one-on-one with John Cena. I know at one point it's been stated that he's never wrestled him, Karrion Kross. And I like the whole Braun Breaker thing as well. And last but not least, I think this would be a chuckle a little bit, just because I think this would be a good honor for him, considering he's always saying he's his role model / childhood hero. I would like to see R-Truth get a one-on-one match with John Cena, just for shits and giggles, just to run it back, and have it where R-Truth's like, I just fought John Cena kind of thing. So, make him in a way we know how his
honestly, I would love for them to win the tag titles together.
That would be awesome. And I just think that would be a good honor, for him, and they would actually run with it. That he got super excited about it. So that's what would make it fun.
Truth. You can't see
the
truth.
An actual tag team partner he enjoys. That'd be hysterical.
Oh, I know, right? The question is, who he turn on? I'm just kidding. No, he wouldn't. All right, we're going to kind of just slide out of. We're going to do a quickie. This is another quick one. We're going to slide out of wrestling. We're just going to go around the room. Who do you think's winning the National Football Championship this year? Chef is away, so we're going to start with Dylan. Who do you think is walking out as college football champs this year?
You can also give your Super Bowl prediction if you would like as well.
Oh God.
Oh gosh.
Dylan,
McKenzie. Karrion Kross versus John Cena would be an interesting storyline. Yes.
It would.
For the national championship, I got to go with Notre Dame. I think Marcus Freeman has turned his team around. We kind of got their leftovers with Brian Kelly over there at LSU. So I think Marcus Freeman, though, has really turned his team around. And, until Ryan Day shows me he can do it, I'm always going to pick against Ohio State. So for the Super Bowl, I know we're still a little bit of ways in, just completing the wild card round. I think tomorrow's the last day of it. Anybody but Kansas City at this point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Buffalo to win it. I already picked Josh Allen to win the MVP, even though Lamar's almost a little bit more of a slight favorite for that one. But Josh Allen's just an unbelievable player, and I think they have a great roster behind him. And Lamar, he's working with the not so bright receivers, but he does have Derrick Henry behind him. So the Bills are great. And they whipped up on Denver today, and I think that they continue a good playoff push all the way to the Super Bowl. So I got Buffalo winning it.
Okay. All right, DJ.
I'm good. Notre Dame. And then for Super Bowl, I got the Lions.
Nice.
Okay.
Truthfully, I think the Lions are going to have it this year.
Okay.
For the hell of it.
All right, Chef.
Yeah. First of all, is seeing it was a few of anybody. I think I would pick Jacob Fatu for him, and for this, I would have to end up picking Ohio State.
Okay.
Where's that clip? This is for you, Chef. Don't take it the wrong way.
Bye, Chef.
No. Don't take it the wrong way, Chef, but this is for you.
Someday you're gonna get bitch slapped, and I'm not gonna do a thing to stop it.
But seriously, I do think that I do. The reason why I picked them is that I do think that they have that they do have a rock solid team. The two wins that convinced me to pick them was I saw the way that they played against Michigan in the big game, and on top of that, the way that they were the one that took Oregon out in the playoffs, and involved that momentum. I do think that it's going to be a toss up, but I do think that they will win. I don't think that either team is going to blow the other one out. If that was to happen, I'd be very surprised.
Okay. And if you had to make a bold Super Bowl.
And for the Super Bowl, I actually picked Buffalo this year to come out of
the Saints.
Nice, love it.
before the season started. Before the season started, I actually picked Buffalo to come out of the AFC. I picked them to upset Kansas City in the AFC Championship game, and I picked Detroit to come out of the NFC.
Nice.
All right.
But I don't remember who I thought that they would face to get there in the conference championship. But I think the Lions will. I think they'll actually do it this year. They're playing with house money. They're playing like a house on fire. It almost feels like that nobody's going to really stop them. And KC, they haven't felt like the same team, even though they only lost 2 games. It hasn't felt the same.
Right.
Okay.
And does anybody else think that this may be Andy Reid's last year, one of his last years coaching?
It probably is.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe it's up in the air.
Alrighty, Redeemer.
Well, for college side, I don't delve enough into college, but I guess I'll throw a random pick in there. I'm gonna say Notre Dame wins this one. And for the Super Bowl, I'm gonna say it's either a coin toss here. It's either gonna be Buffalo, because Buffalo's playing like fucking maniacs right now, or Philadelphia, honestly.
Justin, do not take us the wrong way, but this is for you.
Someday you're gonna get bitch slapped, and I'm not gonna do a thing to stop it.
Kayla's not a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles right now.
I know.
Because
I believe this.
Every time they win, she can't do the Queen's Takeover podcast.
And I will explain it.
I have a weird feeling. I have a weird feeling that I wouldn't sleep on Philly right now.
Well, they just beat Green Bay today, so
I'll explain my reasons when that gets to me. Continue, Redeemer.
Mine's like I said, my Super Bowls is either going to be a coin toss between Buffalo and or Philly.
Okay. Okay, so my prediction for Ohio State versus Notre Dame is Notre Dame. I have Notre Dame winning, and for my Super Bowl, I have the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. The battle of no-win Super Bowls, and Buffalo finally gets over the hump.
I mean, just no field goal situation.
Okay.
I don't think that the people up there in Buffalo would take it.
No, I don't think so.
God.
So yeah, Kayla.
I'm with Dylan on this one when it comes to Ohio State and Notre Dame, or basically any team that plays Ohio State. I root for the opposite team because a lot of people ask me what's your against Ohio State. I'll give you a little story. You know, me growing up, I'm a Clemson Tigers fan. But there was an old friend of my dad that he was Ohio. He was a huge Ohio State fan. And every time Ohio State won, lost, at all ends in the morning and just leave hollering drunk messages on there that Ohio State rules, Buckeyes rule. So that basically made me not like Ohio State. So ever since that, I kind of just decided just to root against them regardless who they went up against, you know. Also, as far as the football, I will honestly say anybody but Kansas City and Philadelphia. And the reason I say Philadelphia is because each time they win, we don't get a Queen's Takeover. And because of that, because Jolie does work for the games, and I'm slowly losing interest in the Queen's Takeover because we haven't done it for going on. Next week will probably be 4 weeks, so a month. And we were already on a every other week break anyway. So, but that would be true. If I had to honestly pick, I'm either going to say don't sleep on the Bills or the Lions. I mean, like I said, Buffalo's been knocking it out of the ballpark. So that's where we stand as far as football goes. All right. And
In personal house,
knock it out. Does anybody
Does anyone have anything they want to rant
internet?
about?
Don't you fail me now.
Does anyone have anything they want to rant about? Kayla might rant about our internet.
I'm ready for a good internet rant. Go
Okay.
for it, Kayla. Give them hell.
All right. Hopefully,
Anyone
internet
have-
will decide to keep on. You've done it this long.
Anyone
I'm
have
going.
anything?
Anyone else
you can
does it,
rant,
so I'm going to knock it out of the ballpark and go
you can literally rant about anything.
To be honest with you, this is gonna sound fucking bizarre to say. I actually don't have anything to rant about. Like, there's not really been anything super big. Like, even in the world of wrestling, that's been like super. Like, I need to fucking get this off my chest. Like, there's not really one of them situations, really.
Okay. Chef, do you have anything you want to rant about?
Not
I
me.
lost everybody.
Me, but I do
It's
have
about-
a personal.
You're still there. I see you.
Yeah.
We still hear you.
Yeah, internet's being real slow. That's why I'm trying to get it, finished. I don't want to end it but I got to get up early and the internet's saying, "Hey, have trouble connecting." So,
Okay, so Kayla, do you have anything to rant about?
So, actually, I do.
Ooh.
Spectrum?
Can y'all hear me?
Kayla rant. Yes.
Your bullshit, Spectrum.
You are bullshit, Spectrum.
Okay. Kayla? We
See?
may have lost her.
See, this is why we say that Spectrum is bullshit.
Okay, DJ, do you have anything you want to rant about?
I hate John Cena.
Okay then.
He needs to go ahead and retire.
You're going to get your wish in December, DJ.
It's not fast enough.
Okay, Dylan, do you have anything you want to rant about? Anything that's
Uh,
bothering you in the sports world?
Crazy enough, I got nothing.
I'm trying, but internet's not letting me.
Oh.
I got nothing this week too.
Can
So
y'all hear me?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say I do have a personal. I think about this, Dango. Imagine having
Hello,
a
Chef.
imagine having a social studies teacher who I believe went to Michigan. Okay. And on the other side, I actually had a gym teacher. I mean, both in grade school, mind you,
Mhm.
who I believe he went to Ohio State. Just imagine being caught in between those two.
Okay.
But then again, I have an auntie who's a Bears fan, and she was married to a Packers fan. So you figured that out.
Okay. Yes, DJ?
I have one question for everybody, and I want everybody to answer me the best way you can and the best way never mind. Well, yeah. Okay, let me ask you a question. Rhea Ripley, when she gave Nia Jax the stink face, did Nia Jax smile when she got up?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Amen. I would have been smiling.
I would have pulled the please, ma'am, can I have another?
Hey, Kayla, you want to do your rant now?
Please, ma'am, can I have another scoop?
I just want to touch on one thing. Is just want to jump over Mr. Tony Khan.
Oh, it's a Tony rant.
What the hell are you doing with Chris Statlander?
Oh yeah.
I want to know. Only to let her. Where's this clip at? only to let her lose to
MJF.
Mercedes Moné. And I understand that if you're going to put her in the title picture, just put her in the title picture.
You're right, Kayla, because she's number one on going into this battle.
That's right. She's in the Casino Gauntlet match for the women. She's coming out first.
Yeah, she's kind of screwed.
But yeah, they need to figure out what they're doing to her to get it over with. So without being true, get it together, Tony Khan, please.
Yeah, I generally hope that.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Bullshit, Tony Khan.
You take the bullshit, Tony, because you are bullshit.
I generally hope that AEW
that looks like
has a much better 2025 than they did last year. I mean, they lost. They potentially just lost Malachi Black. They don't lose. They don't need to lose anybody else because of Tony Khan's incompetence.
Yes, and then you have Ricky Starks and Ray Phoenix sitting at home.
Which is just criminal.
For what reason?
He doesn't want to use them. Because they're friends with Cody.
Basically, Ricky, they freaking put on the sidelines because he clearly wants to leave and go be on WWE with Cody. And Phoenix, they know he's leaving too, just like with his brother. And so they strapped freaking old injury time on his contract. So he's basically held captive for a year.
Which is just absolute freaking bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Big IC said Aleister Black comes back, goes to the mid-card title, and then goes to the main championship.
Let's go, baby.
Or he's the new leader of the Judgment Day.
I mean, if you don't want to get rid of Judgment Day, I don't hate that.
I mean, I could see Finn winning that match tomorrow. He is street trash.
I fucking hate that so much. Street trash.
But anyways.
Street trash.
Okay, Kayla, let's roll out.
I was waiting on Kayla to say something that she's gonna whoop your ass.
But everyone, it's been fun. DJ, Chef, Dango, Justin, thank you for coming in. And Dylan, you're officially been outraged. Thank you for coming in. I hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed talking with us tonight. So,
Absolutely.
So with that being true, I'm going to take some medicine, go to bed, and get up at 5 a.m. in the morning, go back to work. But y'all, it's been great. So with that being true, the outrage is finally out.
The wrong bottom. I'm so sorry.